morning, y'all. Welcome to another vlog. This is going to be a 24-hour reading vlog, and I decided that I'm going to be reading nothing but comics for 24 hours. So it is about 11 o'clock now. So technically I have until 11 o'clock tomorrow to read as many comics as I can. I want to see how many comics I can read in 24 hours. Completely random, I know. And I don't know if this vlog will probably end up going up tomorrow in 24 hours. So me and my dad are headed to a store to return some baby stuff because baby girl can't use this stuff anymore. So we're going to return it. And on the way, I probably will be reading Archie Volume 2 by Nick Spencer. Say hi. Say hi.
Oh, hello. Who's that?
It's just a video.
Oh, hey, video.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, well, you know you don't know how to trust him from the other movies. He just got. But see, another thing for me, the character that they picked to play the part, the person that they picked to play the character,
to play Loki,
or any one of them.
Oh.
If I got a vibe with that person because I'm visual big time. And if I don't like you,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna like.
Okay. Is that why you feel like you don't like what's his face as
the Hulk?
The Hulk.
No,
I just don't think he was a good fit for the Hulk.
I don't like the way he talk.
Stop.
I mean, I'm serious. I don't like the way he talk.
I just don't. I don't like the way that he captured the character.
And if Iron Man don't come back,
he's not.
He can't do it forever.
Because Robert said that he wasn't coming back.
But I read something that he might give it a try.
But he was. I mean, he was the the start, the jumping point for the whole entire franchise.
And me into the faces. I can't see nobody playing that.
Yeah, I can't see anybody else playing. Well, then that kind of is like the whole thing that we struggle with when it comes to like Chadwick Boseman.
Oh my goodness, that's it. It's
kind of it's hard because they do have Black Panther 2 coming out in Phase 4, and I think they're gonna make Shuri is going to be the next Black Panther. But it's just I'm always like concerned about how they're going to
make the transition.
Yeah, how they're gonna make it and how they're gonna describe it in film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, he gotta die.
But I wonder, did they already start? Do you know if they started filming with him prior to his death or no?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He definitely was going to be. Oh well, of course he would have played the part.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good point.
Okay, y'all, so I ended up finishing 2 comics so far. I finished the Archie run by Nick Spencer, the 2nd volume of that, and I really haven't enjoyed Nick Spencer's run. So last month in February, I ended up finishing Mark Waid's run of Archie, which is about 6 volumes long, and I've just been exploring the Archie universe, kind of like the newer stuff, not the older stuff, but the stuff that's been coming out since Mark Waid picked it up, I think in like 2015. So I've been slowly making my way all the way through everything, and I'm actually done with the main line of Archie. Like, it went on hiatus during COVID, and it hasn't been picked back up. So the last volume was the Archie and Katie Keene volume. So like I said, the Nick Spencer one, which was the 2nd volume of Nick Spencer's run, I didn't really like. I don't know, it was just really weird. It kind of resolved everything that happened in the 1st volume, which I didn't talk about the 1st volume because I read that earlier this month. But the 1st volume basically is like about the fact that Reggie's dad goes missing, and it's this huge mystery, and Archie and Sabrina end up meeting, and nobody knows that they've met because it happens during the summer. Everybody comes back for the fall, like Betty, Veronica, everybody comes back, and then they realize that Archie has a new relationship going, but he doesn't really want to talk about it or really discuss like who he's been with. So they try to set up the scheme with Cheryl Blossom and try to get the mystery woman who would end up being Sabrina to reveal herself, but they kind of like double scheme them. And then all of that was kind of solved in the first issue of the second volume, and it just was not, it wasn't good. I personally, like, I didn't like it because it, like, everything was resolved, and then the next 3 issues in this volume were just detailing how Sabrina and Archie met during the summer before the first volume of this Nick Spencer run. So I don't know, like, it just wasn't super like impressed with it. And then the second one with Archie and Katie Keene, it was just a way to introduce Katie Keene as a character. And there's a fire ant in front of me, and I'm trying to like gently like move him away from me so he, you know, because ant bites are no fun for me. They're no fun at all. So yeah, so it was just a new way to introduce Katie Keene to the series, and it also like didn't really have much conflict or anything. It wasn't particularly fascinating to me at all, I guess. I don't know. But so we meet Katie Keene. She comes, she's like this mysterious girl. Nobody knows who she is. Everybody tries to figure out who she is. And then we figure out that like she's just fashionista, and Veronica tries to get involved and kind of help her launch her career, and then, you know, it kind of goes from there. But like nothing really happened. It was very anticlimactic. There wasn't really a lot of conflict, except the fact that Archie was like slightly jealous of Katie Keene, but they didn't even really have much interaction until the final issue of the volume. So I think I'm gonna give both of those 2 stars because I was not thoroughly impressed. But it is going on 3:30, so I have finished 2 volumes as of now. I probably won't end up reading like a whole lot of comics for this 24-hour thing. I highly doubt that I will, but we'll see what happens. The next ones that I'm going to pick up are going to be Sheets and Delicates, because those are the 2 that we picked for the comic book club for March, which I still haven't even made the live show link for it, and it's taking place on Wednesday. Yikes, got to do that soon. So I'll be reading those 2. Don't know anything about them, but since it's March, middle grade March, we decided to pick 2 middle grade graphic novels. So I need to go ahead and knock those out. So the next one I'll be picking up is Sheets, and then after that I will pick up Delicates, and then I will check in after that. Okay, so I finished Sheets, which is the first book in the Sheet series, and it was okay. The pacing was kind of off on it because it's about this young girl who loses her mother, and she runs she runs this laundromat, and then she meets a ghost. And in meeting the ghost, hello family, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, absolutely great.
Okay, we're here visiting.
I see. Would you like to sit down? This girl meets a ghost. Well, it's like it's 2 different perspectives. So she's running this laundromat. Her dad is not coping well with the loss of her mother, and so she's pretty much taking care of the house, taking care of the laundromat, taking care of her brother. And then it's a story of a ghost young kid who has died, but we don't know how he's died, and eventually their storylines cross. The pacing was really, really off, so it's like there was issues with both of the characters, the ghost not really adjusting to fitting into the ghost world, and our main character not really doing well with like adjusting with kids at school, not adjusting to the loss of her mother, and eventually they cross paths because of a conflict. But the conflict resolves itself in a way that was very, very fast. I almost had to go back and read a couple of pages because I wasn't sure how we transitioned from the ghost and the main character kind of having a slight falling out to all of a sudden things kind of being resolved. So it was very, very quick towards the end. And I think had they stretched it out and made it a little bit longer, that pacing and that adjustment would have been better. The artwork was really nice. The colors were really, really muted, kind of like pastel colors, which I really did enjoy. It's kind of a sad story. You can kind of feel the grief on every single panel, every single page of the story, which is kind of rough for a middle grade graphic novel. But I think that it does tackle the whole concept of grief and grieving pretty well. But I think I'm gonna go with 3 stars. The next one I have to read is Delicates, and that way I'll be prepped for the live show with me and Bree this upcoming week. Hey y'all, so this was supposed to be a 24-hour reading vlog, and it has now turned into like a 48, 72-hour reading vlog because my life just never is that simplistic. So we're just gonna see how many comics and graphic novels I can read in 72 hours. So far I have ended up I finished 2 volumes of Archie. So I did the Archie Volume 2 by Nick Spencer. Then I did, which was Archie and Sabrina. Then I did Archie and Katie Keene, which both of those I was not a huge fan of. And then I ended up reading both Sheets and Delicates. So Sheets was like more like a 3-star read for me. I talked a little bit about that one yesterday. I ended up finishing Delicates last night. I didn't really get the chance to talk about it. And I actually ended up enjoying that one more. It picks up right where Sheets leaves off in terms of like our main character kind of still going through that healing process, kind of like dealing with grief in the whole 9 yards. But what I enjoyed more about this one is just I felt like the character development was better. I think that it hit its pacing a lot better, and it did touch on a lot of topics that I think like middle grade readers are going to relate to in terms of like bullying and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think that our secondary character in this book is on the spectrum. This is just kind of my reading of it. I'm not 100% sure because it's never really like completely like discussed on page, but it deals with bullying. There is a content warning for suicidal ideation in it. And it is a very good discussion about, even if you're not participating in bullying, if you stand by and you don't do anything about it, you're complicit in the behavior. So you also are guilty when you don't, you know, like stand up and say like, you know, this behavior is wrong. And so I did finish, like I said, I did finish Delicates. As you can see from that clip, I was doing reading sprints on my channel. So I ended up finishing a book that's not related to this vlog at all. But I also did end up finishing Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, which that's not going to focus right. So I did finish Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, which is this is the 2nd volume. It's a Yuri manga. So we have 2 women who are slowly falling in love. I don't want to say too much about the 2nd volume because of the fact that I don't want to spoil anything from the 1st volume, but I will say that I enjoyed this more than the 1st volume, and I gave the 1st volume 4 stars. This one just had a lot of parts of it that I think were like extremely relatable. There was a section where it was discussing like the fear of like falling in love and understanding that no matter how much you like somebody, no matter how much you care for them, you know, there's still that possibility that you will hurt them and that they will hurt you. And that is so true to life. Like, that is life. And it's one thing that I struggle with, like this whole idea and concept that like when you love someone, even if it's not romantic, even if it's just like platonic, if it's just a friendship, you know, when you open yourself up to people like that, you are going to get hurt. But then it was interesting because on the next page in one of the panels, it said, you know, like that's why you find people like who are worth, you know, going through that heartache with, or that pain with. So, yeah, that was a good one. Kind of made me a little emotional, but I still enjoyed it. So I finished that one during sprints. And then I also picked up Tide Song. So Tide Song is a middle grade fantasy graphic novel that is about these groups of people who are descendants of a dragon and a fisherman, and they have children together, and they are able to combine their magic after there was like an uprising from the other dragons who were like, they were upset that the initial dragon gave powers to the fisherman that were kind of like on par with her. He was able to control water and air. So then their descendants were able to do the same. They don't look like dragons anymore. They look more human-ish, but they have that same ability. They have those powers, and they're considered woo water wishes. And so we're following a young girl by the name of Sage, who is supposed to be going to this academy because of the fact that she has these gifts and she's supposed to be getting trained. And she gets sent to her, I think it's her grandmother's sister. So you can sense to her grandmother's sister, who's just not the kindest person, who talks trash about her as soon as she gets there. She's 12 years old, so of course her feelings are like really, really hurt. So she's trying to navigate like proving that she has a skill set, but she does something she has no business doing. And a dragon, the water dragon, ends up having to save her life. And then he has like no memory of anything. And then they found out that their powers are kind of like tangled together. So the artwork's really cute. I think that I was expecting more in terms of like dialogue within the panels for a middle grade graphic novel. Not like overwriting too much, but just like I was expecting more. But it definitely is more of a heavy focus on the artwork, which I can appreciate. I do like that. So it is late. It is after midnight here. So right now I have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 comics, 2 graphic novels, 1 manga. And I'm going to continue this through tomorrow, which will be Monday. So we'll see what I will finish tomorrow. I probably will read during my lunch break, and then a little bit tomorrow evening, and then this vlog will go up on Tuesday. So we'll see how it all goes, and I will check in later. Toodles. Every time I say toodles now, I think about freaking Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which... yeah. It's just... yeah, whatever. I have a 2-year-old. That's what happens. Hey y'all, so I ended up like not reading any more graphic novels. Like it's been 24 hours and 72 hours, and I still, you know, it was still kind of tough for me because I just have a lot currently going on. So, you know, I did end up still reading most of Tide Song, like I had updated y'all. I did end up reading most of Tide Song. But I did not read anything past Tide Song. So, you know, I did end up reading Sheets, Delicates, those 2 volumes of Archie, and the 1 volume of Donuts Under Crescent Moon, and then part of Tide Song. So it was a pretty good read of graphic novels and comics for, you know, a few days. Just, you know, trying something new. Yep. Clearly, I'm exhausted. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Remember, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll be back with another video soon. Toodles!